Hi, and welcome to your summer guide to water safety. We at Water Safety Ireland are so excited to help you make the most of this season in, on, or around the water. In this guide, we'll cover everything from open water swimming tips and life jacket essentials to self-rescue skills and survival techniques. Take the next few minutes to watch the following video as we explore how to enjoy the water safely and confidently this summer. Whether you're travelling to a beach, lake, or river this summer, make sure to add a few extra things to your checklist. Plan ahead by checking the weather forecast, tide times, and the availability of lifeguards. Lifeguarded areas by county can be viewed at watersafety.ie/lifeguards. If you're planning a day at the beach, make sure to set up your towels and sandcastle making stations close to the lifeguards and the swim zone. Lifeguards keep us safe by supervising the beach and monitoring the tide, weather and water conditions. They provide first aid if needed and can answer any questions you might have about the area and its hazards. Lifeguards also set up a swim zone every day. This is the section of water between the red and yellow flags, and it's the safest place to swim. Outside of the swim zone, there are two black and white flags. This is called the surf zone. Anyone surfing or using craft with a fin, like a paddleboard, must stay in the surf zone. This helps to avoid any accidents between surfers and swimmers. Adults must ensure constant, uninterrupted supervision of children at all times at the beach. Make a plan with your child that if they get lost, they need to go straight to the lifeguards. Always make sure to hold your child's hand around water, especially at edges and piers. Remember, safe. Stay away from edges. Inflatables should never be brought to an open water environment. They can be swept away by currents or wind, or easily capsize or deflate. Inflatables should only be used in a controlled environment, like a swimming pool. Rip currents are currents of water flowing out to sea. They are formed as breaking waves push water towards the land. Sometimes too much water collects in one area and needs to find a way back out to sea. Rip currents can be difficult to spot from shore. Sometimes they can be identified by a break in the wave pattern, or a line of foam, sandy or discoloured water moving steadily seaward. The best way to avoid rip currents is to swim in the swim zone. So breaking waves push water towards the land. The excess water flows together and searches for a place where it can flow back out to sea. This excess water is called feeder currents. When it finds a space, the feeder currents flow out in a tight current. This is called the neck of the rip, where the flow is most rapid. When the current reaches beyond the line of breaking waves, the flow loses power and dissipates at the head of the rip. If you feel like you have been caught in a rip current, don't try and swim against it and don't panic. You now know the flow will eventually dissipate. Escape the rip current by swimming parallel to shore and getting out of the flow of the current. If needed, raise your hand above your head and call out for help. If you are panicked, focus on floating, like a starfish. Arms stretched out wide, legs open, and push your belly button up to the surface. Look up to the sky and focus on regaining breathing control. If you're planning on taking a boat trip this summer, you must wear a well-fitted, well-maintained, suitable life jacket or buoyancy aid with a crotch strap. Never set out on a boat unless accompanied by an experienced adult. When coastal walking this summer, make sure to check tide times before you go to avoid stranding. Incoming tides can cut you off from shore, so take a few minutes to plan ahead. Make sure to bring a fully charged mobile phone in case of an emergency, and if needed, dial 112 or 999 and ask for the Coast Guard. So as the summer season kicks off and holiday mode sets in, remember to take those few extra minutes to plan ahead. Check the weather, tide times and lifeguarded waterways before you go. Make sure to swim in the designated swim zone between the red and yellow flags. And remember, if you find yourself in difficulty in the water, don't panic. Raise your hand above your head and call out for help if you can. If you can't, focus on floating like a starfish. If you're heading inland this summer for a swim in a lake or a river, there are a few things to be mindful of. Fresh water can be much colder than seawater, and even on sunny days, remember that warm air does not mean warm water. Jumping straight into cold water without acclimatising or getting your body prepared for the temperature change can result in cold water shock. Cold water shock can cause panic, gasping breaths, and an increase in heart rate and blood pressure. It can be easily avoided though if we acclimatise. Start by splashing water on your face, your neck, your arms and legs, entering the water slowly and keeping your breathing calm and regular. If you do begin to experience symptoms of cold water shock, exit the water immediately and get fully warmed up. Hypothermia can occur if we stay in the water for too long and get very cold. Hypothermia can cause muscle stiffness, violent shivering and laboured breathing. As soon as you start to feel cold, get out of the water as quickly as possible and get fully warmed. If it is a particularly cold day, make sure you are wearing the proper gear so you can enjoy your swim. Wear a swim cap, a wetsuit and booties if needed. When swimming in fresh water this summer, remember that depths may vary and water visibility may not be great. Beware of submerged objects and always enter the water feet first. Reeds and grass can also hide the edge of the river, pond or lake. So remember, safe. Stay away from edges. Rivers have powerful, fast-moving currents, so it's really important to plan out your entry and exit point before you enter the water. If you get into difficulty, float like a starfish with your body positioned feet first downstream. Keep an eye out for any ring buoys nearby in their yellow housing. If you see an empty ring buoy box, please report it at holdhands.ie. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. To access the Read More links, please download the accompanying PDF. For further information on the content of this video, please visit watersafety.ie. So whether you're splashing in the lake, enjoying the pool, or diving into the sea this summer, remember to have fun and swim safely.